Even the recent White House shakeups, how are voters responding to all these controversies surrounding the White House?
John, despite all that swirl you're just describing, our latest poll, brand new CNN poll, shows Donald Trump's job approval on the rise from last month. He's at 42% approval, 54% disapproval. That is up 7 points from last month. Where did the movement come from? Take a look at this. 86% of Republicans approve of the job he's doing, 41% of independents. In both cases, that is 6 points higher this month than last month. And when we asked about a whole series of issues that we tested, only the economy is where he is in positive territory, John. He is still majority disapprove of the way he handles foreign affairs, foreign trade, gun policy. Only the economy is the bright spot for Donald Trump.
Interesting, David. There's also the issue of these women, these two women in these big televised interviews who have claimed to have relationships with the president. There's been some debate if the women should violate their deals or remain silent. What does the public think on this?
Yeah, take a look. We asked if indeed they should be allowed to talk. 51% of Americans in this poll conducted by SSRS, they say the women should be free to discuss their relationships with Trump. Only 41% say no. But, John, look at this gender gap on the issue. Among those who say the women with agreement should be free to discuss, 59% of women say that. Only 43% of men say that. In fact, 48% of men in this poll say they should stick to the agreements and not talk. Take a look at that gender gap. And then you heard Raj Shah at the top of the show on the actual allegations of Trump's infidelity. 63% of Americans in this poll, John, say they believe the women. Only 21% believe Trump, despite the fact that the White House is still saying that Trump denies these affairs.
Raj Shah said today the president denies everything in that interview. The public, though, you look at that poll, they believe the women. David Chalian, thank you very, very much. My political panel joins me now for more on this. Robbie Mook, Democratic strategist. It's interesting. 63% say they believe that the women alleging that they had affairs, these sexual relationships with President Trump. 21% they believe the president. And yet, even though they believe the women and they must think the president's lying, his approval rating is going up. When would this issue begin to affect his overall approval?
Well, a couple of pieces of background here. I think, first of all, his approval rating is lower than any other president in the last 20 years, I think, in your polling. So it's important to keep that in mind. The economy is doing well. And at the end of the day, what voters care about most is whether their lives are getting better or worse, whether the president is perceived to be on their side in helping them. And while the economy is doing well, this is the one leg that President Trump is still standing on. You were just showing how the stock market surged up today. When that's the case, he's going to do better. And that is the one place where he is in positive territory in the poll right now. So if I were at the White House right now, I guess, sure, we could celebrate this. But, boy, he's still lower than past presidents. That economy goes down, he's in big trouble.
To be clear, you know, his numbers are better. They're not good, as you say, Robbie. They're only 4 points off, though, where Barack Obama and Ronald Reagan were at this point. So there have been presidents who ultimately turned their presidency around who aren't that far off from where he is. Alice Stewart, white evangelical Christians, which is a big support group, obviously, for the president, they believe the women. 40% say they believe the women, 36% believe the president. But an overwhelming majority of this group still has a positive approval rating of the president. I think it's up above 68%. You know, you've been speaking to evangelicals about this. Why this giant mulligan? I mean, has there ever been a bigger mulligan in either golf or politics?
Not that I can recall, and I've been through, obviously, the Clinton presidency and looking throughout history. This is a huge mulligan. But look, here's what evangelicals are saying. Look, from a Christian standpoint, you have to be able to give someone a second chance. There's a couple reasons why they continue to give him the benefit of the doubt in terms of moving forward as a successful president. One thing, they have to be reassured these things happened in the past before he ran for office and before he was president, and they will remain in the past. Another thing looking forward, as long as he continues to abide by the campaign promises on issues that are important to them, the executive order on religious liberty, the appointment of Neil Gorsuch to the Supreme Court on life issues is incredible. And also on Friday, as you recall, he reinforced the ban on transgenders in the military, a key component for evangelicals. And they say as long as he continues to to carry the issues that they care about to the forefront. They will continue to support him, and as long as the past